You all know how much I love my BAREFACED products, which is why I'm so excited to share that they have launched polishing pads, brand new treatment that you can use on your face and body. I got to test the polishing pads and have loved how they transform dull texture, smooth my rough patches, and unclog pores. With every swipe, I'm exfoliating to reveal brighter, smoother skin, and I can really notice the glow. I've been using them once or twice a week on the face and then daily on the body. And I love that I get to share an exclusive code with you guys to be among the first to try barefaced polishing pads available now. Use MOMMA15, that's MOMMA 15, to get 15% off your first purchase. And every order with polishing pads ships free for the rest of September. It's a great deal. So say hello to your most polished self at barefaced.com. Our golden retriever Tucker could not be more lovable, but the one thing I don't love is when he gets a little smelly like all dogs can. Thank goodness we discovered Coat Defense Daily Preventative Powder. This magic powder is a game changer. It acts like a dry shampoo and it keeps his coat clean and dry by eliminating the bacteria that causes odor in the first place. A quick sprinkle all over keeps him fresh and handsome. I recently started using this product in his ears by gently applying with a small fluffy brush, and now that stinky, yeasty smell that you know dogs can get in their ears is gone. If your dog smells, this is the answer, let me tell you. So go to coatdefense.com and use the code MOMMA15, that's MOMMA 15, for 15% off your order. When Wendy Holder's son Tayler told her he was moving to LA at age 18 to become a viral TikTok star, she wasn't exactly sure what all that meant, but she knew one thing for sure: she wanted to support her big dreamer of a son. Fast forward to today, and Tayler Holder has become one of TikTok's biggest stars with over 24 million followers across social media. He's experienced the highs of fame, fortune, and global recognition, but also the lows: a public scandal, major financial loss, and personal heartbreak. For the first time, Wendy is opening up about everything they've been through together: the struggles, the lessons, and the strength it took to weather it all. She also shares what it's like to see Tayler finding his footing again with a fresh start in Nashville, back on tour, making new music, and even releasing a new collab you may have heard with TPain. Enjoy my very honest conversation with Tayler Holder's mom, Wendy. All right, we're so fortunate because the girl who sells Tayler Holder's merch is with us today.
That's me.
It's the Mama Wendy. So glad to have you here. I got to meet you backstage at the iconic Ryman Auditorium. Wasn't that a fun night?
That was so awesome.
Yeah, you're there for everything. This ride that you have been on, I think it's so cool, the relationship that you and Tayler have, which is really special. And so I was like, I have to have his mom on.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, this will be fun. So I was thinking about you earlier today. I was just driving down the road and I thought, what it seems like to me is that, once Tayler turned 18, and we're going to talk about him as a kid, but you literally watched your kid's life unfurl on TikTok. Like his day to day, like you watched it was such a unique journey. I just can't imagine what it was like for you back in Texas.
Well, at that time, he ended up going to Las Vegas to watch a friend of his race in the Monster Supercross.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes over and hangs out in LA for a day or two. And he's like, I think I'm going to move here. And I went, no, that's crazy. You're 18. All of our family lives on a compound in Texas. No, what?
So you have a really close family. You're living in Texas.
Yes.
Y'all are just south of Dallas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it Alvarado? Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so he's like, nope, I'm going to move. I'm going to live in this apartment on Hollywood and Vine. I'm going to become a huge YouTuber and I'm going to make a lot of money. And I said, okay. So here we go.
Wow.
He was like, can you co-sign for the apartment? So it's like not. I said, absolutely not. I'm not putting my name on the line for a bunch of teenagers to be in an apartment. Are you kidding?
So he literally just graduated high school?
He ended up, he homeschooled.
Okay.
Until he graduated, because his freshman year he was doing motocross.
Because that was really his thing, right? He grew up doing motocross and playing sports?
He did basketball, football, baseball, motocross.
Wow. And motocross alone will wear your nerves out having to watch your kid do that.
I've literally seen him fall over at takeoff, somebody knock him over, and tire tracks on his back because he got ran over by all the dirt bikes.
Oh my goodness!
And
Wow.
I ran straight out of my flip flops, and I was like, I hate this sport. But
Was he ever injured seriously?
not until 2022 when he was on a pit bike. We had 10 acres in Texas, and he built a pit bike track and face planted
Oh my.
and broke his nose. It was the day before Thanksgiving. And my best friend's husband had passed away. So I was doing 2 Thanksgiving dinners that year, doing their entire Thanksgiving.
Aw.
And then the next day I was going to do ours. And I'm cooking, and his friend Skylar, who just broke his neck not too long ago, comes running in and says, Taylor needs you. I'm like, what happened? And I go out there, and Skylar had asked Skylar, you know, is my nose broke? And Skylar goes, oh no. And I walk out there, and Taylor is face down in the dirt. I said, Taylor? And he lifts his head up. I said, oh yeah, it's broke.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we went to the emergency room the day after Thanksgiving, 5 a.m. surgery to fix his.
Oh my goodness. He was messing with the moneymaker. You can't be doing that. So up until, 2015, when he's finished his high school and he makes this kind of crazy decision at the time. He lived a pretty normal childhood, right? Sports. He did, the motocross thing, which tells us he was an adventurer. What else was his personality like? Like, what about Taylor told you, like, this kid is going to be a star one day? Or was there anything that made you even think that?
No, because it just wasn't something people did. You know, the biggest thing that you look at stardom out of our little town was, okay, who's going to get drafted to the NFL? Who's, you know what I mean?
Because
Like
it's
sports.
Texas and sports are
It's
huge.
sports.
Right.
And so really nothing. He was just so outgoing. So he was short.
Really?
He was the shortest one. Our football team went like this. Like there's Taylor. He was, he would have to give 150% to be able to keep up with everybody that was,
Yeah.
I want to say regular height because he wasn't. He was so short.
When did he hit that growth spurt?
He was about 16, 17.
So late.
And all of a sudden 6'2" came. I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Where's the little kid, the little fat kid?
Was he shy? Was he extroverted? What was his personality
No, he
like?
was not shy. Can we tell a funny story?
Yeah, I definitely want to hear a funny
3 or
story.
4, and we were doing Pee Wee football. He couldn't play yet, but his older brother was playing, Trevor. And he liked the cheerleaders. And he walked by them, and he stopped, and he looked, and he was really chubby when he was a baby. And he just pointed, he goes, well, you're all mine.
To the
And I went,
cheerleaders?
Yeah.
How old was he?
3. I said, oh, Lord. Oh, goodness.
You might have known then that you might be in for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But his brother doesn't like any cameras.
So his brother's shy. Yeah. So we should say that Taylor has an older brother, right? What's the age difference in Trevor and Taylor?
3 years.
Okay.
And Taylor, when he started going to Walmart. Back when Jake Paul and MagCon and all them, they did skits in Walmart. And Taylor decided this was going to be a good idea. They go and jump in the ball cage. They do all this stuff, right? He asked his brother to take him to Walmart.
Because he couldn't even drive yet, right?
He couldn't drive yet.
Okay.
So they go to Walmart, and all of a sudden his brother comes back. And I'm like, where's your brother? And he said, I left him there. I'm not doing all that embarrassing stuff. They're doing handstands. They're jumping in balls. He can just walk home. I said, go get your brother. He goes, I'm not going to be embarrassed in public. I'm just not. And he goes, I said, go get your brother. For real.
He had to go back to Walmart and pick him up.
He had to go back to Walmart and pick him up.
But that shows the difference in their personality.
Right.
Well, so to this day, what's Trevor's reaction to all of the hype that has come along with who Taylor Holder is?
He just thinks it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just Taylor to him. That's just my brother.
Right.
He doesn't see him as a big famous person or anything. It's just his brother.
Yeah.
They still argue. They still yell at each other. They still do it all.
He's still rolling his eyes at content.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And he works at the cement plants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and that's
he
kind
does
of part of the
welding.
family, right? So you're
So their dad works. He is a superintendent, and they go around to all the cement plants in the U.S. and do all the maintenance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they'll have, 50 people to 300 people doing maintenance on all these cement plants. It's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Oh, wow.
When they're on a job.
Wow.
They work every day.
Yeah, but they both have great work ethic, obviously, because you can't be successful without it.
I don't know that Tayler could go sit in the cement plant for 12 hours. I think he would be like, get me out of here. What am I doing?
He's just built different.
Yeah, he's built different, way different.
He finishes high school. He goes on a trip with friends and randomly comes home and tells you, I'm moving to LA. How in the world did you process that?
I said, well, how are you going to pay for that?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm gonna make a lot of money on YouTube. I said, right from the get-go? And he was like, well, can you help me? And I was like, okay. So then we go and we look at these apartments. I'm like, okay, well, those aren't cheap.
Because it was LA, right?
Right.
Okay.
Hollywood and Vine, right in LA.
The most expensive part of LA.
Right. And I did hospice for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I was a hospice worker for 20 years. And so I was like, well, I guess I better find something to help pay that rent. And so that's when I just went with his dad and brother on the road and kept time in the trailer. And
you started working for the concrete company. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. And it was all to kind of help Tayler chase the dream that he had. Yep. Like, did you believe that when he told you, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get famous and get rich off of YouTube, did you really believe that he could do that?
I thought this kid's nuts.
So what made you be willing to do that?
He told me, I said, Tayler, out there, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Like, you would have to have contacts. You would have to do this. And he said, come on, Mom, we're going to go to a birthday party. I said, whose birthday party are we going to? I don't know anybody in L.A. And he took me to Al Pacino's 75th birthday party.
Oh, my goodness.
And we were sitting there, and I'm like, this is wild. And I talked to Al Pacino for a while. And he said, your son is amazing. Give him till he's 25.
Really?
25. Make sure you give him till he's 25. And I went, well, that's a long time. I got to go to the cement plant for 7 more years? What? But that's what we did.
Really? But some of that really was based off of advice that Al Pacino gave you because he saw something in him.
Right.
I mean, I guess that proved to you because like you said, it's about who you know. So that proved to you that he's going to be able to get himself in the right doors.
Right. And he did. He fought to get in those doors.
Wow. Were you kind of surprised, like, what's driving him to seek fame? Because that's not what your family, you guys weren't around that and living in Alvarado.
His best friend came in one day and was like, there's this new app called Instagram. I think we should get on it.
You remember that?
500 likes. Tayler didn't even know about it, but his best friend Cody came and showed him. And he was like, oh, let's do this. And so they start getting more and more popular, and I'm like, that's weird. And he's like, no, I'm going to become famous. And I was like,
he said that in 2015, he looked at his mom and said, I'm going to be famous. Like he just said, that's what I'm going to do and want to do. Yeah.
I think, though, he was picked on because he was so little. And, people would challenge him, and he was always up for a challenge. And he started watching the Mag Homeboys, the Cameron Dallases, the Taylor Kniffs, the Jake Pauls, and
people who had gone big on social media and on YouTube. Wow. What do you remember the first video being that I guess we would use the term went viral, and you were like, okay, maybe there is something to this?
I think he started getting followers on Instagram, but TikTok is what took off.
Yeah.
In 2019, right before COVID, TikTok came, and he had him and 2 friends, and that's when it all really took off.
What kind of content were they posting at the time?
It was like a little trio that they had, and they were just dancing.
They were dancing? That was back in Alvarado, like just back home?
That was in
LA.
LA.
This is already in LA. Okay, so he's already in LA when he starts doing some of that. So would you just be in Texas, like at home in the living room, flipping through the phone and see?
I'm just sitting there going, okay. Okay, and it's so funny because he'll tell you, I got famous dancing on TikTok and taking my shirt off.
Yeah, I saw an interview where somebody said, so how did this whole thing start? Like, how did you go viral? And he said, you want the honest answer? He said, I took my shirt off a couple of times on TikTok, and it worked.
That's it. That's how it went.
Were you reluctant in any way to be like, Tayler, come on? I mean,
No, I just wanted to see him chase his dream, I guess.
Yeah, you were just all like, you be you, and
Yep.
you're going to support it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that you're wired in a unique way. Like, I'm not only I'm gonna help you fund it, I'm gonna help you get started. I believe in you. Like, some of that, which may not
I
have been
am,
easy.
and I'm his biggest cheerleader, but I always wanted him to stay true to who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And once you moved to LA, you definitely had some concerns then. I mean, he talks very openly about there were some dark days, and that whole LA lifestyle of being viral and becoming famous sounded great. But the reality of that was actually a really difficult personal journey for him. I mean, he's bringing in
Yes.
hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. He had brand partnerships. He had all these things that he had hoped to make happened for him.
Right.
But he wasn't happy.
No.
Tell me a little bit more about what that was like. What were those phone calls like between mom and son in those dark times?
I think the hardest thing, and you know, as a mom, we notice it. I can look at people around him and I can be like, babe, that's not your friend. Just so you know, that's not your friend.
You had that mother's discernment.
Yes,
that
yes. And here I am watching all these kids make all this money in this huge house. And I've known, now mind you, I've known most of them for a few years. You know, I was there when they couldn't pay their rent.
Yeah.
I was there when, you know, like I said, couldn't pay their rent, and Tayler looked at him and said, answer my emails, I'll pay your rent. So, I mean, I watched that, and I think just watching the change with the money coming in, and they all changed. My son included, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think for me, that was the hardest thing. For him, it was learning that people don't really love you. They love what you offer.
So I want to give some clarity for people who are listening and may not be as familiar with this whole kind of social media house and, you know, the way all of that works. So basically there were some of these, they called them content houses, right? And
Right.
you can probably explain it better than me,
Right.
but it's kind of started in the LA area. Now there's a lot of different places, but Tayler was kind of initially part of that original movement of these people who started basically where a bunch of young people would move into a large home together and create content. It might be
Right.
about fashion, it might be about music, it might be just doing dumb stunts, whatever.
Right.
And it was basically just building a personal brand, and then where you could go out and get sponsorships and brands and people to pay you to do dumb stuff on the internet.
And they pay for the big houses.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
You
at one
know,
point they're
you're-
living in a $50,000 a month house with 20 plus kids creating content.
Yeah, no, I think they had 10 in theirs.
Okay. And the one that was,
But the Hype House, yeah, they had 20-something kids. I
Wow.
would walk in there and go, oh, there are bunk beds in the hallway, and I'm like, okay, so this is how y'all live.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's kind of how it began. And then, I mean, he was making, when you would even, he would tell you, Mom, I'm getting paid this to do this. Like, was it astonishing?
It was like, I mean, I just can't believe people pay that much money for you to make a TikTok. Give it to me. I'll make a TikTok.
You're like, tell me how this works.
Yeah.
And it does sound fun. And, you know, the cars and the, you know, just all the things he was able to do and indulge in and help other people and help, like you said, pay for his friends' rents because he was doing so well and so successful.
But we brought them with him.
Right. They kind of came along on the journey and benefited from it, right?
Oh, yes, they absolutely benefited.
Yeah, for sure. How did you keep him encouraged when times got hard? And I don't mean financially hard. I mean his mental health, like, you know, friendships and people. And, you know, he's open. He says he lost himself in the process of all of that.
He did. And you know, I think it's a hard lesson of pay attention to who you surround yourself with. You know, build those real relationships. Make sure that you're building real friendships with real people who really care about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's always had a big heart, you know, and I'm not saying that he's perfect by any means, but he's always had a big heart, and he's always wanted to help people, and that's what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the positive side of what the fame and the success
and
brought
in the
him.
compound, he brought his two friends that he started with on TikTok, and then another friend that to join the Hype House, and then was turned away, so he was sleeping on couches. So I'm going to get you a room. Don't worry, you're coming with me, and he did. And you know, and then he met some others, and brought them in as well.
Kind of started his own thing, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just kind of learned along the journey as a mom of like, he's going to figure it out. He'll work it out. Like you weren't too worried or concerned back home about the day to day, or you were?
I was. Because he totally changed.
What were some of the changes that you saw in, your sweet boy you had raised?
I think just that he would be so down. No matter what he got, it was never enough. We got the big house. We got the Lambo. We got the Rolls Royce. And wait, I'm still miserable. Do I need to go buy something else? What, you know what I mean? That's their mentality. And I think he fell into that category of, let me go buy something to make me happy again.
He thought initially money would make him happy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at everybody in that house and I was like, man, if money does that to you, I don't ever want to be rich. Just give me a roof over my head, Lord, and let me have a cute little car to drive. I'm good.
Were you hoping and praying that he was going to have that same realization?
Honestly, there were times that I would sit there and I would be like, oh, God is going to humble you. I really did. I mean, I'm a believer. And I was raised in church. I went to a private school. You capitalize the G on God and you don't use his name in vain, period.
Absolutely.
And I would just sit there and I would be like, because he did have the big head. They all did, and
It came along with the success, right? It was kind of part of it.
Oh, dear God, he's going to humble him. And I don't know how, and I don't know when, but
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. What was the method that you would say the Lord used to do that?
Took it all away.
Wow.
He took it all away.
What happened?
Along with that lifestyle comes
Criticism,
girls. I'm not saying he was perfect, but, a lot, rumors started. And if people knew the whole behind the scene, I am proud of Tayler because he has protected them so much, and I do. I keep everything, absolutely everything. And, he's still protecting people. And I'm like, let me talk. Please let me talk. They don't want me to talk. But, they made up some pretty horrible rumors, and it ruined his life,
Wow.
It did. But when you come to they came to his house and took at a song release and took people into rooms and told him this extravagant story. Why would you come to his house and tell these stories? You know what I mean? And everybody's like, why is he so prepared online? That's because his mother was prepared. I knew something. I just didn't know what.
You just had a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That mother's intuition.
And I knew who it had to do with. And I was just like, something's going on. And they're about to ruin your life. Just so you know.
Hey, thanks so much for your support of Got It From My Mama. I hope you are enjoying this episode. Did you know that there are more than 100 episodes of the podcast available for you to listen to? Be inspired by our awesome conversations with mothers of athletes and entertainers and entertaining moms. Be sure to subscribe on this platform, on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our insider newsletter by visiting gotitfrommymamapodcast.com. I'd love to hear from you. Now, back to the episode. Did you tell him that?
I got mad. And I said, you know what, I'm leaving. And I did. I got on a flight that night. I said, you got people that's about to ruin your life. Get ready.
Wow.
And I remember him looking at his video guy, that was his video guy then, and he goes, I trust him. And I remember I looked him dead in the eye. I said, you trust him. He'll be the first to leave you. But okay. I left, and he called me as soon as I landed in Dallas. And he said, everybody's gone. He had gone to dinner, come back. Everybody had left his house, packed their stuff, gone. And I said, I'm on my way. I turned around, got right back on a flight.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
You had landed, got back on a flight, went back to console him because you knew he needed you.
I said, you getting a lawyer. They're about to ruin you.
Oh, wow.
Be ready. And we didn't even know who. They were having meetings at houses. They were doing all this stuff, and you're just like, that's weird, you know? And
without going into detail, this all had to do with accusations that were made against Tayler.
correct.
Right.
Correct. But, you know, if you can't face your own actions and you need to ruin somebody else to make sure that your secrets don't come out, that's not okay. That's definitely not okay.
Would you call it discernment that when you're in that room and you had that feeling and you just, you know, I feel like I have that a lot with my kids, which is interesting. And sometimes it's a gift and sometimes it's a curse, you know, like,
Right.
but there's been so many times where you just have a strong sense, you know, and a lot of it is the people they surround themselves with or that
You know
type
what
of
I
thing.
did? I immediately started screen recording. I went to, if I heard a name, I went to their TikTok. I screen recorded everything.
Wow.
And in January, you're gonna ruin somebody's life. But Thanksgiving, you were thankful for them. New Year's 2021 was a blessing, and there's my son in those posts tagged.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yet, 2 or 3 weeks later, this is what we're doing.
You were collecting what you didn't even know at the time, what, you know, that you would need
I
at
knew
one
what I was
point.
doing. I knew exactly what I was doing. And so, yeah, I probably have 300 videos.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So some of the things, I wrote down some of the things he said because I just thought that, you know, wow, his journey that he's been through and what he's kind of learned through that. And then now, of course, being vulnerable about that time in his life. He said, I literally had everything in the world at my fingertips and I didn't care if I woke up the next morning. That's probably hard to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it's true.
Yeah.
You know, like he was just not the happy kid that I raised. He was somebody else.
How hard was that to watch?
It's really hard. It's really hard. And of course, when all this happened in 2022, you're a mom.
Yeah.
You know, I knew where his headspace was, and I was like, I don't want to walk in that room because you don't know what you're going to find.
Wow. You actually worried that he would do something to himself.
Oh, yeah.
He was that down or depressed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you're helpless.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
he
thankful
said he
for Tyler and B-Dave, and they stayed with him.
Yeah.
Tyler actually slept in the bed with him.
Wow. Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna watch him closely. What helped him come out of that time period?
Nashville.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When he realized he came to Nashville, he featured on a song. And they came here to do, well, we all came. I came too, didn't I? CMA Fest. And he got to perform on the Chevy Vibe stage with a friend of his that he featured on one of her songs. And he ended up staying and he met like people and he immediately started making friends. And then Ashley Cook asked him to be in her video.
I remember that.
And,
yes.
And he spent his birthday doing that video.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know why, but I think it's a good idea. And I didn't know anybody
To do it, yeah. And at the time, he wasn't necessarily pursuing music, right? I mean, he was doing.
He would play with music.
Kind of dabble with. He was always interested in music.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he did some R&B in L.A. and all of that.
Yeah.
But it was funny. But so then he did that video. He ended up staying here for like a week or two, and he wrote "Drive" with Dan and Shay. Not Dan and Shay, just Shay.
Shay Mooney. Okay.
And he called me and he goes, "This just feels like home."
Those were his words.
Like that was his first interaction of meeting real down to earth people. I know Nashville, you know, I mean, you have your hoity-toity just like every state does, but like real people, real moments with real people.
Yeah, that's one of the things I remember him saying is that when he was living that LA lifestyle, he never had real moments with real people. He never had what he would describe as genuine friendships in there because it was such a fake world that he was living in.
Right. Because the friendships are based off your following. How many numbers you got? Are you going to benefit me by filming with you? Why would I post with you when you only have 200 followers? Well, that's not real friendships.
Right.
Because real friendships, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. So when he first started, is that kind of when you saw the light back in his eye? Like, you know, that like you talked about, you know, and he has said the sad kid living in the big house, like he had all the things, but coming out of that was quite a journey as well. But you finally started to see a little spark again.
Right.
Yeah.
He started, you know, he found a new friend group. And
Here in Nashville?
well, they kind of all moved here at the same time. They lived together actually at first. And you know, maybe they didn't have 19 million followers on TikTok, but they were real. You know, the Tayler came with him, John came with him, and then Caden, Crease, Jaden, they all moved into this house together. And that was just his new reality. And that was when he realized what true friendships were.
When he called and said, Mom, I think I'm going to leave LA. I think I want to go ahead and take the plunge
was
jump
there.
to Nashville. Were you ecstatic?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
You knew that would be good for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were
I
you?
was there from the day I turned around and got back on that plane. I never left.
Oh, wow.
I did stay in LA.
Wow. And you're still with him today.
Yeah,
You moved to Nashville too,
I did.
right?
Yeah, he's got 24 acres. I don't have to look at him every day.
There's plenty of room to spread out.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when the light came back. And he still has the same friends, and they are amazing, and I thank God for him every day.
What happened that he made the decision, I think I'm actually going to pursue this music thing. I'm actually, you know, and I think he discovered, correct me if I'm wrong, but he discovered he had a writing talent, and he'd get in these rooms with great songwriters. I mean, I was
Right.
looking at some of his songwriting credits. He's gotten to write with some pretty incredibly talented people.
He has. And I don't know a lot about that. You know, it's like the social media side, I know. Music,
Which is so interesting to
music
me.
to me was like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So the social media thing, though, did you kind of have to educate yourself as a mom? Like, if this is what he's going to do, I got to know all the different platforms and what it means and what the numbers and what his goals are. Did you kind of decide, I'm going to pour into knowing what this looks like?
Yeah, I'm just the nosy mom that's going to be like, let me see what they're saying. What are they doing? This doesn't look good, you know? And he'll be like, Mom, it's just this.
How often does he listen to your opinion when you're like, Tyler, that's not, take
Never.
that down?
Never.
Never. You
He'll be
try
like,
though,
Mom,
right?
Mom, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. And I guess he kind of proved that he did, right?
Yeah,
With
he
19.4 million.
But like the music, I don't even pretend to know. I
Yeah.
just go, you know, John, you didn't send me the new song, and everybody's heard it, and I haven't, and I want to know why.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I always talk about that too, because in the beginning, I got every demo.
Right.
Like in the early stages, and Connor was so young when he was pursuing all this, but I got every demo, everything. And John in management's over there cracking up because I'm sure he gets this. And then it's just like he got so busy and got into it. Nothing makes me more mad than to hear a song that everyone else or people talking. I'm like,
They've all heard it.
I
and
was
I'm
the
like,
demo
hello?
girl.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
get
the
that.
reason that exists. Hello.
I love it. When you first heard a song that he wrote, maybe you did hear, you know, the demo or whatever, and you were like, wait, you did this? Like, do you remember that moment of like, wow, I think you've got something here.
I do, but it wasn't country.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that when he was dabbling in a little R&B? What was it?
It was in 2022.
Okay.
When everything had just happened, and he would circulate being at the piano writing a song. I don't even think it's online anymore, but he wrote a song called Human.
Really? And it was kind of at what you might call his low point? And is that how he was expressing feelings?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it. What was it?
It's just it basically was singing about everything that he was going through, and it was the most honest song. And I think those songs are the hits. You know, when people can relate, and you
I
know,
agree.
and it was like, you know, at your worst time, the phone ain't ringing, they're not calling, nobody cares if you're okay, you know.
Yeah. I think there's people who don't, and what I love about this conversation is they don't realize the mental repercussion of what he went through. You know, they just
Right.
see this outside picture of, oh, you know, famous TikTok boy had a downfall. And there's a lot behind that of what he walked personally.
Right. And the hard truth is we live in a world that doesn't care anymore. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about hurting people. They don't care about your feelings. We've lost heart in our people. And that's just the hard truth.
Yeah.
People don't have a heart. They don't care. They don't care if people are okay. They don't, as long as they're okay, it's okay.
Right. What do you think of when I ask you, like, what would you say to moms who are walking a difficult journey with their kid? How do you help them get that spark back? How do you encourage them? Because you've definitely walked that.
If they're needing to get their spark back and start over, just encourage it and pray. Help them get that start back.
Yeah.
Help them start back up.
Did you encourage him when he was just thinking about coming to Nashville?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready for that one.
Yeah. Anything that got him out of there probably, right?
Yeah, I wanted him out of LA.
Yeah. What was the sacrifice that you did? I mean, you left everything you knew in Texas.
Well, we had a house fire last year.
Oh.
And so we lost everything.
You lost your whole home, everything? Like baby picture, like all the things?
All the things.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's the thing that's the worst is the baby pictures.
Yeah. That's where my mind as a mom went, is you
Right.
lost, the stuff you can replace. But
Right. And then we still had the land, so we were like, what are we going to do? We're going to build, we're going to do, you kind of sit there for a little while going, okay. And we had a camper, so we were like, okay, we'll stay in here and figure it out.
right. It's awful. So you were somewhat displaced.
Right.
And then to the timing of him coming here to Nashville, you're like, well, I guess we're going to restart too, right?
Right.
So now
He's in
you're kind of
Alabama.
all living in the area and
Right.
like, oh my goodness, has that been fun?
It is, till
Yeah.
I tell him what to do.
Until you try to play mama?
Yep. Then he's
And are
like-
y'all living on 24 acres now? Okay. You got room to.
And he built a I don't know how many acre dirt bike track.
So he's still riding dirt bikes?
Yes. Thank you, Kawasaki, for sending him a brand new dirt bike.
She says sarcastically,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So what has rebuilding his life in Nashville looked like for him? I mean, it sounds like
It's
he's
been a
kind of,
journey, but an exciting one.
yeah, lots of days with good news, right?
Right.
So maybe a tour or a new song he's excited about or a new endorsement or something like that.
Right. He's got a new song coming. It's going to be fun.
Is it going to be
Well,
one of your...
it's not new. It's a remix, but it
Okay.
probably is.
You're excited about it?
I am.
Yeah. Has he learned his lesson about not sending you the demos? Are you back to getting them?
John sent me this demo.
Okay. All right. So props to John for
Yeah,
making sure
John
Mama
sent
got
me- I had to ask for it, but I got it.
I know what that's like for sure. And so you're super excited about the new single, and there's a pretty cool feature on it.
Yes.
Tell me.
TPain.
Oh my goodness. That's so exciting.
I love TPain. I'm a fan.
You were already
he
a
can't-
fan?
He can't take me around there because I'll be fangirling.
So it's going to be a remix of Dime Flame, which was
Yes.
one of his big hits, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of the other highlights that you would say, just as mom, with this whole new music journey? It's so vastly different, like the life he's living and walking now than what LA, content house, social media was.
Well, I think, which I love country. I like all music, but, country music kind of leads you back to your roots. It kind of leads you closer to God. It leads you more to who you really are. And so that's been great to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And just seeing him happy again.
Happy.
Yeah, yeah. What about relationships and friendships now compared to what he...
He still has just the same friend group. He is meeting a lot of other artists, and he gets to have those real conversations with those real people now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A big difference. So you actually go out on the road with him.
I do. I sell merch.
You have a job. I mean,
I do.
Your job is when you moved to Nashville, did you know, did you say, hey, I think I'll just go ahead and move to Nashville and I can do this for you and support you? And
I think that's more why I was like, I'll just come out there since you got all this space. I'll just come out there because he's been on the road pretty solid.
yeah, yeah. Thank the Lord, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so many cool
So I get
opportunities.
to watch all the shows, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to watch them?
And you actually ride the bus?
I do.
You do? You got your own bunk?
I do.
Tell me about it.
They're all messy. Go ahead, John.
So you're out there with a bunch of boys, basically, the band.
Well, Zoe usually goes.
Okay, that's his girlfriend, right? Okay, all right. And we like her. Like,
Yes.
okay, all right. And she's been positive for him as well.
She has been positive for him.
When you
yes.
think about the spark, getting the spark back, right?
Right.
Yeah. So she
Right.
usually goes. So at least you've got another female on the bus.
Well, she doesn't really worry about me. She worries about Tayler. But yeah, she's fun to have there.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. How do you like bus life?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Except I'm the only one that cleans it. So they get griped at a lot. Be like, y'all can't throw it in the trash. I even gave y'all a trash can.
So you have to play the mom role a little
Right,
bit with the
right.
boys, right?
Yeah.
Walk me through a typical day. So you pull up at a festival, for example, and what do you do? Is someone hauling the boxes for you to the merch table?
They take them all out there. John will come back and go, we got your merch table set up. I was like, oh, thank you.
So you're not setting it all up and everything. No,
I'll set it up. Like, I'll take them out and put them where they need to be so I can just grab them. But they carry it all over there. And then about an hour before time, I'll go over there and set it up and start selling.
I feel like you've experienced your own level of fame through this too. Like, what's it like to be Taylor's mom, especially when people know, and they're going to know now. Like, if you go to the merch table at a Taylor Holder show, you're going to get to meet his mom.
He announces that my mom's back there selling merch.
He does.
You know, but it's fun.
Yeah. Is it fun to meet the fans?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And he's getting a lot, used to it was just young girls. Now he's getting some of them. He's so proud to get guy fans, like.
Yeah.
Because it's always been the TikTok crowd.
Right,
and
right.
So now he's like, I got some dudes out here. This is great.
Yeah. How important is it to Taylor that he becomes more known for his music and is respected by what he's doing as a legitimate artist as opposed to being known as the TikTok guy?
Oh, if he could erase the TikTok, he would.
Really?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, and it's probably a balance of, like, he can't help but recognize that all these fans are coming along because they did know him maybe from that.
Right.
But then, you probably also don't want to be known as the TikTok guy because he's obviously talented. He's a good writer. He's picking good songs. He's a great performer, like all of those things. But you also don't want people in Nashville going, oh, the only reason he's getting famous is because of a social media platform.
Right. And I don't think he would erase it because it is, it has helped make him who he is. It's brought him this far. Mm-hmm. But hearing it's just a TikToker. Oh, he's just this, and he wants to fully be known as an artist. And, you've got 19 million followers, but they don't all translate to music. They don't all come with you.
That's a great point.
Especially in country music, you got to win some country music fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's so true. Yeah, because they're hardcore legit, and
right. But one thing about Taylor is, right now, after every show he will come out and he will not leave until he meets everybody in line. He meets and talks to everybody.
He gets the value of that interaction, engagement.
He does. Mm-hmm. And there's times we're all over there going, is the line almost over? And it's not.
Yeah. Do you ever have people come buy a t-shirt from you and like, are you Taylor's mom? Or do you just tell them?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't tell anybody. But they'll come up and they'll be like, are you? I'll be like, are you his mom? I am.
Yeah, my son's on your t-shirt.
Yeah,
that's my son's face on your t-shirt.
I never stay side stage at the shows. I like to be in the crowd.
Yeah, me too.
Because you can't hear.
Yeah, the acoustics are terrible side stage. I agree.
And so I'm out there with my little, I finally got a selfie stick. So I'm not up here with my phone like this anymore. So I'm holding my selfie stick. And of course, he goes, I'm going to sing an unreleased one. And if I know the words, people are looking like,
yeah, that's the giveaway. Something that other people don't know, but you do. Because John sent you the demo.
Right.
Yeah.
It took me to one festival this year, and I got to see Shaggy. I was so excited. I love Shaggy.
Oh, that's so funny.
Don't bury your head over
that was the highlight, was getting to see Shaggy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm singing, and Taylor's like, I have never seen my mom so excited.
When you think back to those early days of motherhood, you were in the throes. You had two boys, 3 years apart, raising little ones. Could you even imagine the journey that you're on now? I mean, you're riding
No,
on a tour bus and selling T-shirts with your son's face on them.
no, never would have imagined it. And I mean, Taylor probably thinks I'm just too nosy and I'm too in his business, which is fine.
Every kid does, right?
But then he stands on stage and goes, my mom's over there selling merch.
Yeah, he's not too embarrassed about it,
No.
right? That's fun. When you were dealing with, like particularly, I mean, sure, even now, because, people have their opinions and they love to hide behind a keyboard or a phone and, type out whatever they're going to say. How did you deal, or do you deal with the negativity and the criticism and people's comments? Because you see them.
I see every one of them.
How do you deal with it?
Taylor won't let me comment, or I would.
It's hard not to, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm a very friendly commenter. I mean, it's just, there's a lot to say, and he won't let me. I think the last, which has gotten better now, but probably 22 and 23 is when I was really like, let me say something. Mm-hmm. Let me say something.
You wanted to protect your kid.
I got
you wanted to
tired of people saying, Taylor, just be quiet, it'll go away. Taylor, just be quiet, it'll go away. And, and I had many arguments with people and his attorney, and I was like, what do you mean it goes away? It doesn't go away. Quit telling him to be quiet. Mm-hmm. Say your piece. Say their name.
It didn't go away.
It didn't go away.
Quieted down? Is that fair?
It's quieted down.
Mm-hmm.
People are sitting there like, well, this was 3 years ago. Nobody ever said anything. And then people will go on there and they'll be like, oh, yeah, all these people came out. Show me. Please show me. Mm-hmm. Oh, he sent NDAs. Please show me. There was no NDAs. Mm-hmm. Cease and desist. Learn the difference.
That had to be so hard to walk through as a mom. You just want to defend and protect your kid.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what was hard.
It is. It is. Because I look at it and I'm like, these people have no clue. As early as this year, well, maybe it was last year. No, it was earlier this year. Somebody puts him on a phone on a call with somebody, and they're like, "You did this, 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 and this." I'm like, "When? Let me go look." Oh, yes. Actually, I still have that video from that 2018. I still have that, and all the ones from 2019. And then there's like, we don't want to talk about it no more. Of course you don't. Mm-hmm. Of course you don't. Mm. They probably think this crazy mom's got videos from 2018.
She's got 300 screen recordings on her phone.
I do.
I saw a picture of you looking beautiful on a red carpet.
He took me to CMT Awards.
That had to be so fun.
It was so fun. It's probably the only one I'll ever get to go to. Because little Miss Zoe looks better on the red carpet. But it was so fun. And a friend of mine named Kristen, she was from our hometown. And I think she went to school with Trevor. And she came up to Austin, did my makeup and my hair. And
oh, how fun. Uh-huh. Yeah. So CMT Awards, walked the red carpet. You met Tanya Tucker. You met Shaggy. That was a big deal.
Well, I met Shaggy at a festival.
Right. I'm just thinking about the different highlights for you.
Oh,
what am I missing? What are
Bunny.
Oh, you did?
Bunny. I've met her there, and then we went to the concert in Dallas, and I got to meet her there too.
Okay.
And love her. I just love her.
When you think about just some of the opportunities that have come his way, now that he has made this major life shift and kind of started a new chapter, right. How does it make you feel?
Proud. Mm-hmm. Anybody that can overcome so much and still be who you are, and and make it all work. God provided for him in ways that he never could have imagined. Mm-hmm. And Taylor says that a lot.
And he recognizes that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he took it all away, but I just think God took Taylor out because Taylor never would have left anybody.
Mm. Too loyal.
He's very loyal to a fault. Mm-hmm. And, I think God said, mm-hmm. And I think he took him out of the situation. Mm-hmm. And then gave him a new life.
Yeah, he really has.
He really has.
Yeah. What would you say when you look at Taylor and his personality? What did he get from his mama?
His temper.
Is it pretty short fuse? Mm-hmm. At least you can admit it. That's the first
Yeah,
step, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So you see that in him sometimes, and you're like, oh my goodness, this child is so me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if we have an argument
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, I'm looking right at myself right now.
There's a lot of moms that can
Yeah.
definitely. I didn't look at him. We were on the phone, but we had what I would call a spirited conversation with my oldest the other day. And I said, you know what the problem is? You're just like me.
Yep.
Like the way he was handling like a situation. And it was a frustrating thing.
I
But I was
will
just like, you're
say-
just like me.
He stays calm longer than me.
Okay.
Like you have to really set him off.
Okay.
Me, I guess if you're messing with me, I really don't care. I am 52 years old. I could care less.
Yeah.
What you say, I don't care if I have followers. I don't care about none of it. Just I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think when it's your kid, you're like, oh really?
Yeah.
Meet me here. Let's talk.
There's a whole different element of that, isn't there? That mama bear is
Oh, yeah.
it's a real thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
It's like, and it's funny because probably one of the biggest comments he gets is, oh, there's that country accent again. Yesterday was gangster, today's country. You know, and I sit there and I laugh. I'm like, we're from Texas.
Yeah.
We can go from gangster to country real quick. You know, like, make us mad. You'll hear a whole different tone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen to his mama. You'll know that
Yeah.
there's some genuine country in there. And at the end of the day, the boy did grow up in Texas.
Right.
You had to have been exposed to country music, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All his dad, listen, Hank, George Jones, and his dad's all-time favorite is Charlie Pride.
Really? Charlie Pride is. Oh, I love that. He was my dad's favorite as well.
Yep. We met him once.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's so cool. Meanwhile, Mama's
family
over
I've
here
ever met.
listening to Shaggy.
Yeah. Yeah, then there's me.
We'll wrap with this, but what are you excited about that's ahead for Tayler? Like what's coming up next? I know the new single, which we're excited because TPain's featured on
Right.
that, but what else?
I'm just excited to watch him grow. Watch him grow. You know, he's got it. He's got it now. He's got his feet on solid ground. He's got a good support system. He's got great people around him. And he's doing it.
Yeah. Which means Mama's a whole lot happier than she was a few years ago, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
That's so good. That's so
You know,
good.
anybody that can go through what he's been through and still come out winning.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Well, thanks for spending this time with
Thank
me.
you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.